Jerry. You see my face on the telly, you see my face on the you see my face on the telly.
You scream my name like I'm Jerry.
You see my face on the telly, you see my face on the telly, you see my face on the telly. You scream my name like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry. I run the house like I'm Jerry. I run the house like
Jerry. Oh, sorry, I ruined your whole walk-in. My bad.
Welcome to So Much to Talk About, episode 3. I'm your host, Butterfly Mush, and today we've got some shit, guys. We've got some shit to talk about. I'm like emails pouring in. Got one email, but I'm so excited about it. Like, the subject was the Horacle, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's me!" It's for me, the email. So we've got a couple of questions for the Horacle that I will answer. And what else are we going to talk about today, Gary? Oh, I watched my very first podcast for the very first time. I was doing some research, so we'll talk about that. And that's it. What else am I saying on the intro? I'm going to drink some tea. All right, we're going to drink some tea. I mean, we're always drinking tea. You know, clear skin, healthy.
How much are you drinking? How much are you spilling?
Listen, this tea, if you have knowledge, let others light their candles in it. That's literally what I'm doing in this show. Oh my God. All right. It's a full moon in Aries, and we are feeling it. And then my tea was like, bitch, share the knowledge. And I was like, bitch, I am. Oh my God. So let's get on with it.
Talk about the moon.
Berkey has been like, when are you going to do the astrology episode? When are you going to do the astrology episode?
I'm going to wait for my own.
Okay,
my own day,
I'm gonna.
But like, there's a big moon right now, so
Yes, I'm gonna indulge in a little astro talk, only because we have the most powerful full moon of the year today.
I brought it with me, by the way.
You what?
I brought it with me.
You brought the you brought the moon. Berkey, do you know what time you were born?
Ooh, I do not.
You have to check your birth certificate.
Is it on my birth certificate?
Yes, most people. Then you can.
It might be on my laptop right in front.
Well, you'll give me that, and then I can look up your chart, and we know where your moon is. But
Okay.
you, for example, your moon is in Sagittarius. So you've got a fire moon. It's a very strong moon. But, okay, the moon is in Aries right now. It's the strongest full moon of the year. Rightfully so. I mean, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. They are a fire sign. They are they a cardinal sign? A cardinal sign? I'm not really sure if they are. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're fucking strong and potent and fiery and intense, and they are going to tell you how they feel. And that's what this moon is doing literally right this minute. I don't know, but I've been feeling it all day. It's just like something inside of me is like, bitch, you got to let it out. Tell everyone how you feel, even if they don't want to hear it. And what's interesting about the full moons is that, so when the moon is full, this is science 101 for y'all, it means that the sun is directly across from it on the other side. So the sun right now is in Libra. We're in Libra season. When it illuminates the moon in full, it's when the moon is on the total opposite side of the chart. So when we have a new moon, which is when we can't see the moon, it means the moon is literally right next to the sun in the same sign. So like in September, we have a new moon in Libra because the moon and the sun are together in the same sign. And then the full moon is in Aries because Aries is directly across from Libra in the chart. So Aries is a sign that focuses on the self, like me, myself, and I, and they are unapologetically selfish about caring about themselves before anyone else, which sometimes I think a lot of people have to put that into practice. And sometimes we put other people before us. If you're a mom, you put your kids before you, your husband before you, then you forget all about yourself. This moon is here reminding us, bitch, forget about everything else. Forget about the dishes, the kids, jobs, emails, and focus on you. What do you want? And I don't think people do that a lot because they're always thinking like, well, what I want is I want to be in this relationship. No, do that when the moon is a full moon in Libra in like May, April. So like the moon will be full when it is completely on the opposite side of the chart and it's sister sign. Libras and Aries are sister signs, and like every sign has like an opposite sign. And Libras are always about partnerships and things in relationship to others. So Libras always want to collaborate, be in partnerships, be in relationships. And Aries are like, fuck everyone. I don't need anyone. I'm a bad bitch all by myself. And it's about like balancing that energy. And that's what we're going through right now. We are in Libra season. The sun and Mars and Mercury are all in Libra, telling us to align and balance communications and passions in our life. And the moon is all the way on the other side in Aries, being like, all right, forget all this fucking relationship shit and all this like having to collaborate with people all the time, and just think about yourself for once and go take like a nice bath or do something nice for yourself. All about balance. And that's what we're doing. And that's why, and you know, it's funny, like I'm recording today on a full moon and I was like having the urge. I'm like, I feel like I need to record. And the same thing happened last month. I recorded on the full moon in Pisces. Like I was like, this bitch is like making me talk right now. She's making me want to share the knowledge, like my tea. This is celestial. This is what's the yellow one? No, not cold and flu. The zinger one? Lemon zinger. Lemon zinger is cute. Like I would drink normally, I would drink like a green tea, but then I don't want to stay up all night. But green teas are big. And then what's the the kombucha, green tea kombucha, love those. And then someone sent me tea from England. You don't want to hear it. You're like, fuck it. Fuck the queen. But I have a fan, a follower that was like, I see that you drink a lot of tea. Do you love tea? I'd love to send you some tea. I buy my tea at this place, and it's the same place that the queen buys her tea. I was like, of course I want to drink the same tea as the queen. Here's my address. Send it. She fucking sent me tea. And the tea is gin and tonic flavored. It actually tastes really good. It's really flowery and like minus the hangover. So like win-win, you know? That was a cute one. She sent me tea. Thanks for the tea if you're watching. And I wouldn't be mad if you sent some more. Okay, here we go. It's a long one. Love the videos. Happy birthday month. This is from Stephanie, by the way. I don't know how to say her last name. Xotwod. Okay. Stephanie says, happy birthday month. Thank you, Stephanie. My question is, how should I handle my boyfriend's mother's toxicity? She's been trying to play matchmaker with this woman she has in her church group, always insisting that my boyfriend and the girl follow each other on WhatsApp. I didn't know you could follow people on WhatsApp. This is such a mother thing to do. Like WhatsApp.
What WhatsApp? The
Yeah,
app?
you can follow people?
Yeah.
All the
Okay.
stories and stuff. No, yeah,
I don't. I only use it to talk to people that have
Yeah,
that
I
have
mean-
an Android, because you can give, like, I can send you a high quality photo.
Right. That's why people,
doesn't
yes,
compress it,
WhatsApp doesn't bring down the quality. Like, so, okay. She insists that they follow each other on WhatsApp. That's ridiculous. This has been happening for a couple of years already. My mother-in-law lives in DR, so my assumption is that she wants to matchmake these two so that my boyfriend can go back to DR. The church girl has become obsessed with my boyfriend over the years.
Church girls, man.
If my boyfriend blocks her, Pamela, the mom, would find out within an hour and then, oh no, sorry, the girl's name is Pamela. So if my boyfriend blocks her, Pamela finds out within the hour and then tells my mother-in-law, and then that way she calls my boyfriend and makes a whole scene about how rude and terrible we treat the church girl. But does she even see how it could bother me that she insists on this girl so much that lately it's gotten to the point where my mother-in-law swears I want to ruin her relationship with her son, calling me evil? What the fuck? Honestly, I don't know if I am the most appropriate person for this advice because I'm not looking at Gary either at this one. You didn't do anything. I'm just saying, obviously, you don't want to make your boyfriend choose between you and your mom, but no, I don't ever want to come in between a person's relationship with their mom, but the mom sounds fucking nuts. And Stephanie, you need to tell your boyfriend that he needs to tell his mom, Mommy, you're fucking crazy. Like, you need to relax. Like, Stephanie can't be the one to say this because the mom is going to take it as rude. But the boyfriend has to stop people pleasing and then doing what the mom is saying, because is he not taking into consideration your feelings? Like, is he not thinking that you actively have to hear your mom talk about church girl all the time? Like, how would it, ask your boyfriend, how would you feel if my dad was constantly, you need to,
He's fine.
Ziggy is fucking wild. Okay, Stephanie, you need to ask your boyfriend, how would you feel, boyfriend, if my dad was actively trying to hook me up with this guy from his job that he loves? Church boy. My dad loves church boy, brings church boy to all the cookouts, and, you know, church boy is there all the time, and I don't want to be rude to my dad, so I'm being really nice to him, and you're there looking like a jerk off. Like, how would you feel in that situation? You don't like it, right? So please talk to your batshit crazy mother.
But what if you like church boy?
What if Stephanie likes church?
Well, yeah.
Stephanie, run for church boy. No, Stephanie has been in a relationship with her. She loves her boyfriend.
Yeah, but what if he likes church girl? Plot twist.
That's a whole other situation, Stephanie. You're going to have to do some questioning. And you need to be like, boyfriend, you've got some explaining to do. And you need to let me know right here, right now, do you like church girl? Do you have feelings for her? Gary, how many times have I confronted you about girls?
About people I didn't even fucking know.
Listen, I'm just throwing out names. Hi, I'm just throwing out names. Are you fucking this girl? Are you? The front desk girl at your office? Are you guys a thing?
Yeah, that I barely said hello to.
I mean, like, you're never going to get anywhere if you don't ask. So I ask. But I do think, in all seriousness, Stephanie, I think that you should talk to your boyfriend, because this isn't something you can do anything about. Anything you may say to your mother-in-law can come off as rude and disrespectful, and I'm not telling you to disrespect your mother-in-law. I don't know what I would do. Maybe Like, I'm a loose cannon sometimes, and I may or may not have been rude to mother-in-laws at some point in my life. I'm not going to say anything else about that. But also, Gary, you've been in situations where you had to choose your family or me.
I said beer cans thrown at my head. Closed. Closed beer cans, yeah.
Listen, I never forced you to stay. But like, how did you feel in a moment when you were like, my family is really important, but I really love this girl?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you've got to decide kind of, am I just listening to their advice to please them? And then ultimately be sad and like, this isn't, or at the end of the day, I'd like to grow up here of fucking nuts and just be like, look, this is who I want to be with, and just back the fuck off.
You said it, and not me. Stephanie, you need to tell your boyfriend to grow a pair of fucking nuts, just like Gary just said, and stand up to his mom and be like, Mom, I really need you to stop doing this. I am very happy with Stephanie. I love Stephanie. And you're making us all very uncomfortable. And you're making my relationship very uncomfortable. And Stephanie has never tried to make my relationship with you uncomfortable. She puts up with this bullshit. That's what your boyfriend needs to say. And if he doesn't say that, and if he tries to resist, sticking up for you to his mom, then that's a bit of a red flag, because then he's mama's boy, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. So I hope my advice helps you, Stephanie. Let me know how that goes in the comments. I appreciate your question so much.
There's no comment from Church Girl.
Pamela's gonna come knocking down.
Church
my
Girl
door.
122 on YouTube.
Pamela is probably, if Pamela's Dominican, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Pamela's gonna knocking on my door like, ¿Qué lo que? Like, I'm so sorry. Okay. I have another inquiry. I'm so excited that I have like emails. I was checking my email that one time a week that I check my email. I only check my email like once a week. I don't have the mental capacity for more than that. And I'm scrolling and it's all just bills and stupid shit. And then, lo and behold, like the subject was Oracle. And I was like, oh my God, you have no idea how happy that made me. So you made my fucking day. This girl's name is Lizzie. And Lizzie says, damn, Lizzie, I love your name, but my lisp is having a hard time. Lizzie.
Lispy.
Sorry. I never thought I could ever be on TV and like with a mic speaking, because I was always so self-conscious about my lisp.
Were you trying to persuade me you didn't have one?
Well, for me, my coping mechanism is to pretend like it's not there and it doesn't exist, and I talk like a normal person. What do you mean I have a lisp?
It's more of a lazy tongue than a lisp.
It is a lazy tongue. Actually, I got a speech therapist to like analyze my whole situation. I was like, can you help me out here? I really want to be on TV. At one point, when I was younger, my dream was to be an MTV. Fuck shit, I failed my audition. MTV VJ. And I would practice in front of the mirror all the time. And then I quickly realized, like, I was like, fuck, I'm never going to be able to be on TV because the lisp that I have, it's so stupid. So I was like, maybe I could get like speech therapy. And I asked a speech therapist one time at Scores.
Of course. Of fucking course.
He was a John.
It was
Oh
like
my God.
it was like a doctor's like conference, and there was a bunch of different men from the like medical field, and here was this like nerdy guy that was probably his first time at a strip club ever, but you know, so it's like the conversation's like, oh, so what do you do? Like, are you a doctor? Are you a surgeon? Like, I'm a speech therapist. And I was like, oh my God, speech therapist. Perfect. I need you to tell me, like, can I get therapy and fix my lisp? And he was like, unfortunately, it will be a waste of your time because you have a lazy tongue. And that's just not going away.
Neither is your snoring.
Is that why I snore?
There's sleep apnea, yes, because of the lazy tongue.
Listen,
Was this like in the open lounge, or was this after or during like a lap dance?
after, well, I can't remember. My
I'm
forte
just
was,
more curious at like a
my
strip
forte was
club.
like, let's talk shit all night. And so a speech therapist, like, wow, that's a fun career to talk about. But like, Gary, I figured out my snoring thing, by the way. Here's why I snore every night with you. Is because I sleep facing up.
To try and listen out for shit for me, is it?
No, it's just that I have trained myself. You know how I sleep, like a dead person in a coffin. I've trained myself to sleep like that because it's really good for your skin and you don't get wrinkles. Yes. Madonna sleeps facing up. It's like the
Yeah,
pillows.
bullshit. Madonna doesn't get fucking
I
thousands
mean,
of dollars a work.
Madonna looks pretty good for her age.
Because
And she
everything's
always
fake, yeah.
She's like
no,
75.
but she always
68.
said that. Cher does it too. A bunch of people with beautiful skin. Your bed sheet, your pillow cover, when you put your head on it, not only can you get like breakouts, acne, whatever, you get wrinkles. So the best way to sleep is like this. I'm going to show you guys. Just one low pillow, and then your spine, my far from the mic, your spine will be straight, and then your face will not be touching anything, and then it won't get dry, it won't get wrinkles, it's not all over the pillow cover that the cat was sitting on 5 minutes ago. So it's good to not have your face resting on anything. But I snore when I do that. Really bad. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad, Gary?
56.
Like truck
And,
driver
and you
bad.
know the thing is too, it's crazily immediate. It's like, all right, good night,
Really?
right away.
Get outta
Like I'm
here.
like, she's not even sleeping, is she? It's
That's
nuts.
That's insane.
And then what's it like when I wake myself
You
up? with the
choke on your
snore?
tongue, yeah. It's just like,
I'm sure this is super sexy and attractive for those watching. But so when I was upstate at the Airbnb with a bunch of people, I was like, oh, I hope I don't snore, So to avoid the snoring, what's he chewing on? One of the important cables, and it's going to like totally ruin our connection. Gary, to avoid the snoring, I have to sleep on my side. If I sleep on my side, I stop snoring. But wrinkles, I mean,
you've added a million more wrinkles to me.
snore, wrinkles, snore. I'm sorry. That's why you get
You
the
wonder
wrinkles.
why I sleep so much during the day. Because I get zero sleep at night.
So the next morning, the first night when we were upstate, the next morning, and in our room, 6 people slept in our room.
Oh, fuck.
And the next morning, I wake up, and Valley's like, I'm like, how'd you sleep, Valley? She was like, oh, somebody was snoring. And I was like, it was probably me. I'm so sorry. And she was like, no, it wasn't you. Because we were sleeping we were on 2 separate beds, but she was on one side and I was on the other, and we could see each other. So she was like, I was looking at you. It wasn't you. But I got so nervous when she was like, somebody was snoring, kept me up all day. I was like, oh my God, it was me. I'm so sorry. It was not me. So I discovered my trick on how not to snore when I'm sleeping around other people. But I'm so sorry. You're just going to have to deal. Okay. Back to Lizzie. Wow. Lizzie with the two Z's and the impossible name that I cannot pronounce. My beautiful Lizzie. Because Lizzie's email is amazing, and it says, Hola Reina. This is Lizzie. I live in Mexico and I'm 25 years old. I've been on and off in this sort of long-term relationship. He lives in San Diego and I live in Tijuana for 3 years with this man. We are in a more stable, mature stage, and we've talked about marriage and made a 1-year plan. That's good signs. 2 weeks ago, he told me he isn't ready to do it, but he still wants to do it. I guess later on. For me, that is una promesa al aire, meaning a false promise. And that's annoying because I'm left in the dark when on my side, I really want to do it. And I feel played because he would show me rings and he made plans. And all this time, he knew he didn't want to do it. Is he ever going to be ready, or am I just holding on to a fragile promise? This cat, you are going out the door. Shit. I think deciding to get married to someone is natural and exciting, and it sucks that he isn't sure if he's ever going to be ready. Help, Horacle. Also, she spelled help with a J, and I love her so much. Like, help! And then she sent me a second follow-up email. By the way, he is a Cancer. I am a Scorpio. Honestly, first I want to break down how much I love this email and how much joy it brought into my life. That Lizzie understands the breakdown of having to tell me the signs. I just absolutely love that. Yo, this cat's having a field day. Okay. She's a Cancer, like you, and he's a Scorpio. By the way, right off the bat, I don't think that's a great match.
Wasn't he a Cancer?
No, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. He's a Cancer. She's a Scorpio. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be a good match because you're both water signs, but you guys are both water signs that are like on the opposite spectrum. I'm not going to say anything bad about Cancers. Relax, Gary. Gary's making faces, threatening faces at me. Like, better watch what you say about my Cancerians. I'm surrounded by Cancers. You guys have no idea. Like, how many girlfriends do I have that are Cancers? So many. And then Gary. And a couple of exes. A couple of exes. Just a couple. Cancers are emotional. They're a water sign. They're emotional. They need to feel secure, and they need to feel like they have a safe home that they can, be themselves in. Hence the crab. And Cancers wear their heart on their sleeve. You'll know that what a Cancer is feeling from like a mile away. But Scorpios, being a water sign as well, are quite the opposite. In the sense that, like, they're not going to show you their feelings. So, Scorpios tend to like keep things to themselves. They don't open up as easily to everybody. Whereas like a Cancer will tell you their whole life story like within 5 seconds. And Cancers can be called needy, but I don't think needy is a bad word. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to be. Cancers want to be loved and nurtured. It's a thing. Whereas Scorpios want to be left alone sometimes and like just go deep into their cave and be mysterious. But, we also have to know the other signs. I'm not going to go off of signs. I think a lot of times, and now men, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I think men sometimes think that the right thing to do is to like tell women what they want to hear. Like when a man and a woman are in a relationship And they feel like, well, I'm sure at this point, we're getting to that stage where things are getting a little more serious. Soon she's going to want me to pop the question. So, like, they'll tell women, like, yeah, no, I want to too. And I'm looking at rings. And because they think that's what you want to hear. And when in reality, what women want is for you to want to do that, not for you to tell me what I want to hear. There's like, that defeats the purpose. So, of course, you're left in the dark. He's showing you rings one day, and then the next day he's like, I want to do it, but just not right now. That's crazy.
I mean, if you're showing your rings, aren't you supposed to show a ring when you're actually proposing?
No, like he was showing her different designs and stuff. People do that.
I'm opposite. Like I'm not gonna give a false positive of like, oh hey, like, because if I ain't feeling you, no, I'm good.
Well, they're in a relationship. They're in a committed relationship where they have conversations about the future and they talk about marriage. And I don't believe that no man out there wants to get married. I know a lot of men that genuinely do want to get married and have families and have kids. But I do think that a lot of times men say and do things because they know, like, oh, this is what she wants and I don't want... You want to keep the beast happy.
Bit,
yeah, like it just sucks, but I think that happens a lot. Because unfortunately, the thing is, like, women, we have this biological clock. And that just fucking sucks because that makes us act crazy and be desperate and like be like, all right, hurry up. Like, this needs to happen. And men don't have that. Like, men are just like, yeah, when I'm ready, I'll get to it. And if I have a child at 70, okay, the sperm still fucking works. Like, we don't have that luxury. So this is why women get a little more desperate and a little more crazy as age passes. But, you know, I don't know. I'm left in the dark too right now, Lizzie. I really think that you are right. Getting married is exciting and it should be natural. And here's another thing that I want to tell you that's really important. Getting married is something that two people are going to do. So two people have to be have to be just as excited to do it. Like you know, I know that you want these things with this person, but if this person doesn't want it as much, don't keep applying pressure for that because it's a recipe for disaster. And in the long run, like, there's going to be resentment. It's a whole, you don't want to go down that road. If this person is now being honest about the way they have been feeling and their cold feet, which, why is it cold feet? Why is it called cold feet? Where'd that name come from?
Don't know.
Very weird. Anyway, if he's feeling like, you know, maybe I'm not sure that I want to do this right this minute, what can you do?
The other thing is he's in San Diego in the U.S. and she's in Tijuana, Mexico. It's all of like going from Manhattan to Brooklyn as far as possible distance, but like you're in two different countries.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you could walk across the border, but at the same time, like, that man could be doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Like,
I never go immediately to thinking like, oh, this man is doing some shit behind your back. I do think that here's a couple of things I'm a firm believer in before marriage. Obviously, sex. Like, let's not even. All right. Sex before marriage, absolutely yes, because you do not want to be trapped with some like horrible shrink dick person, and then you're like, oh my god. I mean, like, oh my god, if that's not fucking my reoccurring nightmare where I wake up covered in sweat, I don't know what is. So I think it's important for two grown people in the year 2021 to have sex before marriage so that they know, because sex is that intimate it's a crucial part of intimacy where you're going to learn this person in a way that not many people know. So you should do that before marriage. But also living together, I think, is so crucial. You do not know a person until you see how they live. And we're all raised by different people, and you two are from different countries. Like, you'll learn some shit about your partner. Like, oh wow, I didn't realize you eat cereal at 3 a.m. Jesus Christ. Gary doesn't eat cereal at 3 a.m.
Fuck's sake.
What kind of cereal do you eat at
That-
3 o'clock
no,
in the
Whatever
morning?
the kids have.
Honestly, and here's the thing.
First
too.
off, that was once because I was working all day
Okay.
and I fell asleep.
Also, Gary tricked me because when we first moved in together, you were like, oh, like I keep my things like here, super neat. I iron my shirts.
It's literally because I
And
was
I
in
was
your
like,
apartment
oh
and I
my
had no
God.
closets and I like was living out of a
I
bag
was like,
basically.
damn, this guy is so like neat and organized. I mean, he irons his fucking white t-shirts every morning before he goes to work. Like, this is hit the
I
jackpot.
still do that.
Not as often.
Well, I don't go out to work as often. I'm training in a football field.
I'm just saying, even when you do move in, I'm not saying move in and then get married tomorrow. I'm saying move in, live together for a year or two. I think you get to know the person in a way that if after 2 years of living with that person, you still want to marry them, then I guess he's a keeper. But
I guess as well, posing the question of moving in together, then you'll see who's serious and who's not, right?
exactly. Well, I mean, I think
Because you can't just go straight to marriage without
but
living
you
together.
know what it is? And I don't know much about Lizzie, but if she lives in Tijuana, cultures are so different, man. Because in Colombia, like most of my friends lived at home until they got married. And then after marriage,
male or
they had
female?
an apartment. My girlfriends. Well, but men too. And then they got married, and then they had the apartment, and then they lived together. And so it's very common for, like, it's not like the American way. You move out when you're 18, you go to college, you dorm, you have roommates. In other countries, people stay living with their parents. So then intimacy just becomes really weird, like in a car or a motel, or like when your parents aren't home but we're 25.
That was basically me and you, your grandmother. when
I
we met.
mean, well, my grandma was here to take care of my newborn child.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I was about to have the conversation like the church girl earlier. Fucking have a war with your grandmother. I'm trying to get some.
My grandma fucking loved you.
And I loved her too, yeah, but not at certain times.
All you needed to do was flex that Jesus tattoo on your arm, and
Oh,
she was
she's
like,
loving it, yeah.
ay, él tiene el tatuaje de Jesús. I was like, yeah, and the Virgin Mary on his chest. Relax, Grandma. Like, hasn't been to church a day in his life. There's a lot of steps before marriage that I think people should take, that maybe because maybe Lizzie comes from a conservative Mexican family and they're like, nah, you're living at home until like a man comes and proposes and marries you. Maybe she's in that situation. So then I say, fuck your parents, Lizzie. Run. No, I think it's important for people to. So my rules are about marriage. Definitely sex before marriage. Definitely living with someone before marriage. And then, I almost want to say have kids before marriage. If your relationship survives children, then get married. toddlers, right? The toddler stage, it's fucking hard as fuck. That'll make and break anybody. No, but definitely sex before marriage, and then living together. It's so important. You get to know someone on such a deeper level. In life in general, my advice for life in general, I think everybody should live alone at some point in their lives. Not go straight from like living at home with your parents to like having roommates to being in a relationship. I think living alone.
So what you're saying is exploring what's out there.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, not exploring what's out there, but like, and also, okay, living alone is a must in life. At some point in your life, living alone is really important because you learn a lot about yourself. And traveling alone is something I think everyone should do at some point in their life. You really get to know yourself on some other level, because if you say you travel alone for like 10 days, by like day 3, you're talking to yourself out loud. You're like talking to yourself like it's another person, but you're getting to know yourself in a way that you never really have a chance to, because we're always just in different social situations. You're at home with your family, you're with your friends, you're at work with your coworkers. Like, when are you ever really like alone in the middle of nowhere in some random country where you don't know anybody? Never. You see how you react to things, you see how certain things make you feel without any other like input from, or like influences from your like social circles. Is really important. I think that's important. So then that is like the same thing. So living with someone, you just get to know a whole other side of them. And remember that other advice I gave about the girl in Puerto Rico and the man who would travel? Several people suggested that he may possibly be married. Listen, there is that possibility. Unfortunately, sometimes men do that shit. And women. But I'm saying, I don't want to be doomsy. I don't want to tell Lizzie here, like, this motherfucker's married, Lizzie, be out. I am feeling a bit romantic, and that happens like once a year. Once a year when the moon is in Aries, actually. And I want to have faith in her love. I think that maybe you should have a genuine, honest conversation with him and just be like, okay, let's lay it out all on the table. I want to know what you're feeling. Don't just tell me like I'm feeling confused. Tell me why you're feeling certain things. And then maybe the two of you can explore why he's feeling that way. Once that's settled, maybe you can discuss possibly taking a step closer to this commitment you guys want, but that isn't necessarily that big commitment that's scaring him. Perhaps moving in together, if that's an option. I don't know. I don't know what her situation is, but I hope you two water sign lovebirds figure it out. I'm rooting for you guys. This whole room's rooting for you guys. And let me know how it goes. I wish I had more emails. I can give advice all night. But unfortunately, y'all are not writing fast enough. So shoot me an email, butterflymush.com. No, that's my website. That's wrong. Shoot me an email at butterflymush@gmail.com, or you can comment under the videos. I see them because not that many of you are commenting. Y'all should comment more. Or you can send me a DM on my Instagram, which I am on at all times. I have a friend who says DMs on Instagram are trash fire and she does not check them. But I, on the other hand, fucking live there literally all day. Anybody can send me a DM and I respond and I have a 3-hour conversation with you. Try it. You'll like it.
What's your Instagram?
Butterfly Mush, duh. And my Twitter. Did I tell you I've been getting into Twitter?
Yeah, I was.
His football team followed me on Twitter. I didn't even know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never.
Oh,
I
really?
Never, I never check my Twitter because my Twitter's what up Berkey.
Yeah, what up? It's like an old
And
one.
I created it who knows how long ago, and then I randomly go onto it the other day, and I'm like, oh, NYIFC's like got me tagged, and I'm
There
like,
you
I'm
go.
I'm just like, how the fuck does this happen?
Yeah. There you go. I mean, look, I used to tweet a
You were
lot.
active, yeah.
I was
Jesus.
active.
Yeah, you're active on IG though, so I don't see it. It's probably
Well,
the
no, but I
parallel.
was active on Twitter like 10 years ago. I was big, was just tweeting all day. But I'm going to be very honest.
What was the page I made? Shit Latinas say.
No, you made shit Irish people say.
Oh,
I
you
made
the-
Latina girl problems.
Oh, that's right.
I still own that account, but I don't write anything. I'm going to be very honest about what happened with Twitter. I fell off. I fell off and stopped like tweeting as much. I think Instagram took over my life, but I would go back every once in a while to read my tweets, and they were so cringy,
I did delete all mine. My
so
entire
fucking
history, yeah.
cringy that I did just a one swipe and deleted every single thing I ever tweeted. It was so bad.
Yeah, I did the same.
And also, I'm about to become mega famous, and I don't want y'all chasing me after some old tweets with some bad shit. Like, guys, this was before I was the person that I am today and know what I know today. I was saying some dumb shit, like shit that I would get canceled for. For example, I didn't know any better, but I got into a major Twitter war over breastfeeding. Before I had kids, I thought breastfeeding was disgusting, and I didn't want to see it at restaurants. And I tweeted once, like, I'm at a fucking restaurant enjoying my meal, and I see this woman with her fucking tit out and her nipple. I don't need to see your fucking nipple. I paid good money for this meal. Put your shit away. I don't want to see it. And I got attacked by the breastfeeding community. And then ironically, my profile photo at the time was my face, but from like my chest up from a nude photo shoot I had done. So you can tell that I'm naked in the photo, but you can't see anything. It was like from here up and my hands are up. So, I mean, I could have been wearing a strapless top, but women were like, and you're naked, you're sexualizing boobs. And I was like, yeah, that's what they're fucking for. They're for fucking. They're not for feeding children.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know any better.
Were you stripping at this time?
What's that?
Were you a stripper at this
Yeah,
time?
yeah, I was.
That's
And I
So
was
so
just like,
hypocritical.
tits
So
are for
hypocritical.
titty bars only. Don't at me. And I was getting attacked. I remember it went on for fucking days. For days.
What's
women.
your stance now?
Oh my God. The complete opposite. I will probably go and like attack someone on Twitter if they say that shit, because I now am a mom. I breastfed. I learned about it, but I didn't know anything about it. My mom traumatized me with her breastfeeding stories, and she always said it was such a traumatic experience for her that I was like, all right, cool. I guess that's not a cool thing, and we don't do that or we'll talk about it. So I just thought it was like, oh my God, why is this woman fucking pulling out her tit now? And then how was I breastfeeding?
Oh, everywhere.
Tits out all the time. Don't care if you're offended.
Axel,
You're about to see my
Axel
nipples.
just lived on the tit for a bit. Like, he was just
Axel
like,
we didn't get married, but we went and got our marriage license while I breastfed the entire time. And we took a picture outside the courthouse. He breastfed the entire time. And obviously now I know that it's the best thing you could do for your kid if you are able to do it. And it's a big struggle. And a lot of women have a hard time with it. And it's just like a whole society has trained us to think that boobs are just meant for sexual objects for men, and I was here believing it. I was like, leave the tits in the titty bars and stop poking them out at restaurants and feeding babies. How dare you? But I was wrong. And then I was embarrassed and I deleted that tweet. But I'm out here admitting it. Like, if someone ever calls me out for it, like, that was the least of the stupid things I did or said. I also, what else? What other horrible tweets? It was just horrible. It was just horrible tweets. I would tweet in the back of cabs and talk about how bad they smelled and like, it's just like dumb shit that I was like, I have to delete all of this. I hope no one can go into some sort of weird server. Pull out old tweets.
As long as they don't know your Twitter handle, I think you might be okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Talking
Twitter.
about taxi cabs and Twitter, I grew up watching Taxi Cab Confessions as a young adolescent
Oh my God.
child.
But that was a great show.
That was the greatest reality TV show in
That was a great show.
New York. And you're talking about like pinhole cameras,
Yep.
decent audio, and the craziest shit. Like, saw a little TNA. Couple
It's some
times,
crazy.
like,
I have some
crazy
crazy
shit.
taxi cab stories. My
Oh
goodness.
my God.
So I dated a guy who loved that show, and then in cabs loved to like do crazy scenarios. You know him. This was the craziest person.
Of course.
Exactly. And he would like to act crazy on purpose to scare the cab driver. And he would just be like, shut the fuck up, Andre. What did I fucking tell? Don't make me do like, and do dumb shit where the cab driver was probably like, oh my God, is this girl in trouble? And I would just be like, can you stop? And then he would get mad because I wouldn't go along with it and he would want me to go along with it. But he always wanted to scare the cab drivers by saying just the most outrageous shit. Like, I think he probably still does it. He's so stupid. If you know me personally, you know who this person is. Like,
Oh, I did. I knew right away.
I'm not gonna give him any clout. But
He's gonna be dying if he sees this. He's gonna be like, "Fuck."
he would just do crazy shit. Or like one time he was like telling the cab driver, "Yeah, this is my sister," but you know, we get it on. And like the cab driver was just like I was just like, oh my God. Or trying to, but you know what he did to do for real was trying to bargain every motherfucking thing. I was always just so embarrassed. Like, stop bargaining a fare ride, like a cab fare. Can you not bargain that? Can we just get out? Can you just pay and we can go on with our day? No. He could never just pay. Always had to like get a deal on him. He deserves a whole episode. I'm going to have him on here. He's going to be a guest.
Down the line.
Yeah, he'll be a guest. He's he deserves his own episode. Okay. How do we close this?
Got any merch coming?
Oh my God, merch! Very exciting stuff happening with the merch. I'm going to have so much to talk about merch. T-shirts, crop tops, mugs, cell phone cases, notebooks as well. That will all be on the site starting when this airs. So as you're listening to me talk, open up another tab and put in butterflymush.com and go shopping. And then there's also going to be the regular Girls Just Want to Have Fun's merch, which you all love. That'll always be there, but there is going to be so much to talk about merch. Hats. Oh my God. Sweatshirts. You name it. So all of that will be on there. And this month's Patreon paintings are very cute. They're the tarot cards that I did the other day. if you're part of my Patreon, you will be receiving these hand-painted, amazing little canvases that I paint. That I would never paint anything that small, so you're very lucky to be getting these personalized items. I delivered a painting the other day to a girl who bought 2 of the big pieces. And she was like, "Oh my God, I love the Patreon so much because I get to have like your work in minis, even though I already have these are my 4th pieces of yours." So small canvases that I would never do otherwise, hand painted stuff, stickers, prints, all of that on my Patreon. So, support living artists. Dead artists don't need the money. We do. Also, my kids eat a lot, so I need to buy food all of the goddamn fucking
Cereal,
time,
preferably.
including my 34-year-old child. What else am I plugging here? Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, merch. Oh, you also have to like and subscribe because honestly, you gotta keep it. We're doing good. My stats, my YouTube stats, I'm gonna say, I'm a little proud of myself, right? Remember I sent you the screenshot? Yep. We're doing good, guys. We're doing good. I have a whole production team here. I don't know if y'all know. A whole bunch of it's Rebel, there's Ziggy, there's Berkey, there's Gary. It's all men. That's how I run my show. No other women allowed. Only vagina in here is mine. And that's it. I will see you guys next time. Next week, next episode, whenever. Check me out on my stories. Probably just like go now on my Instagram and watch today's stories. I did lots of exciting things. I'm always doing exciting stuff. It's fucking entertaining. And that's it. Bye. Bye. Bye, all of the cameras. Woo.